What's up, you guys? So I am back. I feel like I have been gone from YouTube for so long. It's been about 2 weeks, and I have been managing some family situations, and I'm glad to say that everything is looking up. So, thank you to everyone who follows me on Instagram and knows what was going on with my son. Thank you for your prayers. I truly appreciate it. And now we are back, and I wanted to talk about this today because Kenya Moore at one point in time wrote a memoir and published like a chapter of it to the internet, and then she took it down. So it's like people know in general Kenya Moore's background with her mother, but we don't know specifics. And she's kind of like tight lipped about it. Whenever people ask her about her mother, she kind of says the same thing. But she did this interview with Carlos King that premiered today, and she actually opened up about her mother and what really happened between her and her mother. Now, we all know that her mother had denied her. As a child, she denied having Kenya Moore. And some of us, like when I've made these videos before in the comment section, some of us have discussed, did her mom have mental health issues? Did her mother want to give her up for like a closed type of adoption? And was she denied that option because she was a teenager? And is that why she treated Kenya Moore the way she did? Because she really wanted a closed adoption? Like we've discussed all of these options, but Kenya Moore sat down with Carlos King and broke it all down what really happened between her and her mother. So we're going to get into it today. So basically, because Carlos asked Kenya, what made her, what motivated her in her life to become the star that she is. And so she was saying her mother almost like in a reverse way motivated her because her mother said that she would destroy her. So it's almost like she had to fight and become who she is today to not be destroyed by her own mother.
I don't know if I ever knew it. I just knew that my life was different. I felt like my life that I was living was different from a lot of other kids around me. And I felt like the all of the adversity that came my way dealing with my mom, who could have easily destroyed me, like literally she told me she would destroy me to my face.
Your
She
mother said that to
My
you.
mother said that to me. She said, "I will dog you for the rest of your life," to my face.
How old were you?
I was about I had to be that was when I was hiding in my mother's closet. I had pre-recorded something because she wouldn't talk to me, and I was trying to get her to speak to me. And my cousin and I pre-recorded on the little tape cassettes, and I hid in her closet of my grandmother's home, her mom, hoping that when she came home, I could just press play. She would listen. And I poured my heart out, like just saying, "You don't have to speak to me. You don't have to, we don't have to be friends. You don't have to call me your daughter, but can you at least speak to me, acknowledge me? Let's try to have a friendship." And when she came home, my cousin buried me in the closet, like put all the clothes, things. So I was hidden in her closet. And when she came home, I remember my heart was just beating out of my chest. And I think it was around 12, 11, 12, I think. And she came in, she figured out what was going on. She was like, "Who is there?" She opened the closet door. She pulled all the clothes and things off of me, grabbed me out of there, took the recording, and she was livid. She was livid. My grandmother was home. It was her mom. And she told me, I don't have a daughter. Um, she pretended like, I didn't exist, but she was livid. She had a conversation with my grandmother, her mom, and she told her mother to her face, "I've never had a child." She was like, "I've never had a child." And my grandmother, for the first time ever in my life, I saw her take up for me. Like, why can't you just speak to her? Why do you have to treat her that way? And my mother was like, "I've never had a child. I don't know what you're talking about." They were arguing, and I just remember crying. My cousin was crying. And after she was done speaking to my mom, her mother, she came to me and she said, "I will dog you for the rest of your life." She was like, "I will never be your friend. I will dog you I will never forget those words."
Now, another reason I wanted to talk about this is because when Kenya Moore says her mother was out to destroy her, that was her mission in life, to destroy Kenya, it reminds me of the comments that some of you guys were leaving when I did this video a few years ago about Kenya Moore's mother finally acknowledging Kenya. And really, she acknowledged Brooklyn. Like, she sent Brooklyn like a package, like with, little girl clothes and things like that, in a car, and it was signed by her grandmother. So, it made headlines that Kenya Moore's mother finally acknowledges her, because by acknowledging Brooklyn as her granddaughter, she was acknowledging Kenya as her daughter. And I remember, if you look at the comments of that video, I remember some of you guys saying in the comments that it wasn't a breakthrough for her mom to acknowledge Brooklyn, but not necessarily Kenya, but just to acknowledge Brooklyn wasn't necessarily a breakthrough. And some of y'all felt like she should still keep her distance from her mother because her mother still never addressed her. She only addressed Brooklyn. And it could have been a way to try to hurt Kenya by only addressing her daughter and still not addressing her. You see how the card is signed Love Grandma Pat, and it's to Brooklyn. It's not to Kenya. And so when Kenya says that her mother has mental health issues and specifically set out to hurt her, I just wonder, when she acknowledged Brooklyn and not Kenya, like, it makes me look at it in a different light. And it makes me wonder if she acknowledged Brooklyn and not Kenya to hurt Kenya. It really makes me wonder now. And so far, Kenya hasn't given an update. Even in the interview so far in part one, Kenya hasn't given an update on if her mother speaks to her now or if she speaks to Brooklyn now. Like, this last update was like 3 years ago. So we still don't know if Brooklyn has a relationship with Kenya's mother. That's what I would like to know at this point. But I want you guys to leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on Kenya Moore's mother specifically trying to hurt Kenya, like going out of her way and saying that she would destroy Kenya. Like, I know it's a mental health issue. I don't know if some of you guys work in the mental health arena. What issue is that? For someone to have mental health issues to the point where they say they want to hurt their own child, what is that? Leave a comment and share your thoughts on that, especially if you're a mental health professional. But I just want to know what you guys are thinking in general. And when part two comes up next week, we'll talk about that as well. As always, thanks for watching.